Hey, thanks for taking a minute to check out today's video. This is a previously recorded video on the patient ladder of success. We hope it helps your practice. And as always, please leave some feedback in the comments or a rating on iTunes. Love to hear from you. And if we can provide some resources that are mentioned in this video, don't hesitate to reach out at the office. Be happy to share those with you. Thanks for being here for another episode of the Practice X Factor. Today we're sharing the ladder of patient success and how we've installed this in our practices to be able to help really build a relationship with patients. And it's part of our 7R MAP relationship marketing plan. And if you like more information about that, you can go back onto previous episodes and listen to more. If you'd like a copy of the ladder of patient success, you can reach out to my office. Our information is in the podcast, where you can email me and I'll have my assistant send a copy of the graphic to you. And also, if you'd like to see if you qualify for upcoming Advanced Membership Mastery Network Mastermind, it's a 6-week mastermind. It's limited to 14 openings and we have a few left. So if you'd like to be part of that, just go ahead and reach out. So the ladder of success is a ladder that has multiple rungs on it, and it moves from the bottom to the top. So let's dive into this a little bit more, what this ladder means. So with your patients, to be success, it has to be a mutual 50-50 partnership. It can't be you as the dentist or provider or your team doing all the work, bending over backwards, doing everything for the patient. Our job is not to fall on the sword and be martyrs for our patients. What our job is to give our patients the best experience possible and provide them with a team and resources to help them be healthy now and in the future, and to give our best, right? Always do our best. But that doesn't mean we should do things that compromise our core values or compromise our integrity. This is where I see a lot of doctors get into trouble and start working in areas where they shouldn't, or have issues with lawsuits or patients leaving bad reviews. Is we, with good intentions, want to help a patient, but when they start to get frustrated or upset for things they didn't do, for example, keeping up on their recare, and then we feel obligated to help them. And so it goes back to part of the Hippocratic Oath, which is inform before you perform. So this goes all back to informed consent, which is, in order to get you healthy, it's important you're doing some things at home and you're coming in here for us to maintain your health. So for us, if a patient can't keep that first rung on the ladder, they're never going to be successful in our office, and we typically refer them out. So we generally refer for difficulty of the patient, not difficulty of the procedure. And what I mean by that is a misalignment of values, right? There's probably another office somewhere with a different type of values that may connect differently with that patient and take great care of them. But we're not obligated to treat everybody, especially in countries like the United States. There are plenty of dentists around. There's no shortage of dentists almost everywhere you go. Maybe some rural areas, but even then, there's so much technology and people can drive somewhere different and get access to care if they truly need it and they truly want it. So we start with that, okay? Then you get into bread and butter dental care. Then you get your first referral from the patient, right? Then the patient becomes a member. They might join your membership program. For us, that's more valuable and easier to work with than insurance, because we're very insurance friendly, but insurance changes all the time. And your membership or your savings plan, you can set the standard on that to keep it consistent. And people need consistency and certainty and leadership more than ever in today's world, because there's so much turbulence and things are always changing. Then you get into sleep better. Now, this doesn't mean you have to offer sleep dental medicine to your patients. You can, but what this is talking about is, what's the conversation happening at the dinner table with the patients that night when they leave your office? How are they talking about you and your team? Was it, oh, I had to go to the dentist today? Was it, oh, it wasn't so bad? Or was it, it was so amazing, I had this really bad tooth and they took good care of me and I'm feeling so much better, right? Or I went in for a consultation and they over-delivered and I got more than I expected. That's where they're sleeping better. You're also talking about things holistically, not one tooth at a time. I think one tooth at a time dentistry is malpractice in a lot of cases if the patient is not informed there's better and more comprehensive options. Now, that doesn't mean everybody's ready, and we should never coerce or force someone into getting a whole mouth of implants or something else. But patients should always know that if they have problems like teeth grinding and a broken down bite and a pathologic occlusion, that they can never get healthy fixing one tooth at a time. But sometimes, they're heading out on a trip or money's really tight and that's all you can do right now, right? And that's okay. But always inform before you perform, and then you'll have a stronger and better relationship with your patients. A Smile 3 and a Smile 5 is what we call the patient's now been with us for 3 years and then 5 years, keeping up their recares and their maintenance. Once in a while life happens and maybe it's 9 or 12 months between, but for the most part, they're keeping up on their end of the deal, which is doing their work at home and coming to see you. Doesn't mean they're perfect. Maybe they don't floss. That's okay. As long as they own up to it and they appreciate and respect that because they don't floss, they may have more problems to deal with. But we focus on the good and what they are doing, which is thanks for being here. Thanks for brushing your teeth. We know you don't floss, but hey, you're brushing 2 or 3 times a day. That's a step in the right direction, right? We've all heard hygienists or dentists, or I've been guilty of this too, which is, well, floss more, floss more, floss more, right? And really you're pushing a boulder up the hill because you're telling your patient to do something they may never do. So instead you come up with alternatives. Maybe it's a water pick. We may know that a water pick's not as good as flossing, but it's 10 times better than doing nothing. And it's all about the progress and moving forward. Okay, then they may move into a Smile transformation. Might be an all-on-4, could be orthodontic treatment, where they're moving up into the next level of smile health and outcome. And then yearly referrals. So is your relationship such that at that dinner table, so we talked about in the sleep better rung, they're sleeping better, they're feeling good about their decision, they enjoy seeing their provider and their team, they know the team besides just you, and they talk about you in a good way with other people, right? To always ask for a patient for refer. Here's a contest we're doing, refer. We've never found that to be super effective. Doesn't mean we don't do those things and we don't ask, because there's a time and a place for it. But indirect referrals, which is being referred because they can't help but talk about you, right? Walt Disney had this quote, something to the effect of, do what you do so well that others can't help but talk about you. And you've seen the success of Disney and Disneyland and Disney World over the years, how that has exploded, and the parks are packed even as they continue to raise prices, because there are certain things they do so well that people are excited and they talk about it to their friends and it makes them want to go. And going to the dentist, let's be honest, it's not on people's favorite thing to do list. But what you can do is say, well, they're going to have to go to the dentist anyway, so we may as well make it a great experience for them and build relationships. And then Smile 10 is, now it's been 10 years, the patient's had 20 recares. If they're on perio maintenance, maybe they've had 40 recares or 38 recares. And that's how you know that you've really had success with the patient, is they want to come back and see you and you have that long-term relationship. And those Smile 10 become your golden patients, the patients you should get the most feedback from, listen to the most, build your practice around, not around the people who won't even keep up on their recare, which is below the bottom of the ladder or below your acceptable standard of care. So thanks for taking a look at this video and for your input. If you have some other questions, please share them in the comments, and look forward to sharing some more with you in the future. Have a successful week. Thanks.